If you had told me a month ago how many value-minded guitars would be out there by now, I would have called you insane and checked you into the nearest psychiatric ward. There have been rumors flying around about blasts from the past, so to speak, but I didn't believe them until I entered the store one afternoon, and right there, in classic white, there it was. Yet another blast from the past, directed for all to enjoy. Oh, so it is very real, I thought to myself. This white beast is the new Epiphone 80s Explorer, specifically in classic white, although it's also offered in ebony, which is just what Gibson and Epiphone call black. It's a reissue of the Gibson Explorers from the mid-80s, specifically starting in 1984. These Explorers differ from the original Explorers in that they lacked a pickguard, they had the three knobs arranged in a triangle instead of a straight line, and the pickup selector switch had been moved from the lower horn to just below the bridge, easier to grab along with the knobs. Since 1984 was the first year it went on sale, it's become known as the 84 Explorer, and it became popular with one very famous face, James Hetfield from Metallica. He began playing the 84 Explorer during Metallica's Ride the Lightning era, and he would continue playing it until about the And Justice for All era when he switched to ESP Explorers. Gibson also offered them in different colors, from the usual black and white, as well as red, the very royal purple burst, and even camouflage. Wow, it definitely looks like a weapon in camo. Because of its affliction with James Hetfield, the 84 Explorers now demand stupid money on the used markets. But because the originals from the 1980s are not priced out of the hands of several players, it appears Epiphone has decided to take matters into their own hands and reissue the 80s Explorer, just like they reissued the 70s style Flying V's a few months ago. So how much is the new 80s Epiphone Explorer? Just 9 Benjamins? And it includes a gig bag? I remember the Flying V was only 7 Benjamins, with a gig bag included. Why the price hike? Is it because of imports? Taxes? Or is it just because the Explorer body style is harder to mass produce than the Flying V? It is larger than the Flying V, I thought to myself as I picked it up, and I said I would have to pay to try it out, but that presented a problem. So many knuckle draggers were surrounding me today. It seemed like no matter where I looked, everybody was sitting at an amplifier. I made my way over to the pedal display, and I finally found an empty workstation there, grabbed a spare cable, and plugged it into the nearby tuner. In this particular array of pedals, I found a Soldano overdrive amp, and I figured that would have to do. First, I decided to look over the Explorer as usual. True to Gibson's construction methods, the body and neck are both mahogany, and the neck has the Epiphone 60 slim taper profile, very comfortable and very easy to get your hand around. The fingerboard is rosewood with 22 medium jumbo frets with dot inlays. The bridge and tailpiece are Epiphone's famous lock-tone tunematic bridge and stop tailpiece. The nut is a Graptec nut, which is a very, very nice touch, should improve tuning stability. And the tuners are just sealed, but they appear to be reminiscent from the Gibson Explorers of the 80s. They're just not Gibson branded, of course. The pickups, however, are where things take a different turn. Because James Hetfield had modified his Explorer with EMG pickups, Epiphone decided they should follow suit, and fitted an EMG 81 in the bridge and an EMG 60 in the neck. There was a secret feature on the back of the guitar that was not on the original 80s Explorers. An easy access compartment for the EMG's 9-volt battery. Because they're so powerful, they require 9 volts of extra power to run. But no worries, as long as the guitar remains unplugged when not played, the battery lasts a good long while. Around this time I thought, wait a second, is this a James Hetfield signature Explorer? It can't be. It would cost way more than just 9 Benjamins if it was. It sure didn't say anything. I didn't see James's signature anywhere on the back of the headstock, but it had the same specs and look of the guitar James played. So does that make it an unofficial James Hetfield signature? I would have to find out by playing some of my favorite Metallica riffs. Starting with a clean setting, I decided to start with Welcome Home Sanitarium. Okay, very promising, I thought to myself, but any guitar could sound good clean. It's time to turn on the distortion. I engaged the Soldano, and after dialing a quick tone, I got to work playing more of my favorite Metallica riffs. By the end of this assignment, I realized, okay, Epiphone has definitely captured the spirit of the original 80s Explorer. Whether you want to play Metallica riffs or just shred on it, it's definitely built for that, and then some. The EMG 81 and 60 definitely live up to their reputation as being hard rock and heavy metal oriented pickups. I wish I had more time with this guitar, but alas, not today. Perhaps I would have to revisit it. Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, I definitely have to have one of these beautiful white machines in my arsenal soon. Thank you, and have a good week.